Welcome to part 4 of our video series on the AIMS Query Tool. In this video, you'll learn how to organize queries into folders and how to share queries and folders with other AIMS users in your agency. Let's start with organizing. AIMS lets you organize your queries into folders and subfolders similar to how you can organize your computer files. Perhaps you want to group similar queries together or segment your queries by location. Folders can help you do that. Here you can see a list of queries I've created on the My Queries tab. Now I want to create some folders to place these into. To create a folder, click Add and select Folder. Here I'll enter a name for the folder. And here is indicating that the folder will be added to the root of the My Queries tab. Click Add and we can see the new folder here. Now that we have a folder, I can move an existing query into it, or I can save a new query directly to it. To move a query into a folder, click the More Options icon and select Move To. Then select the name of the folder from the drop-down list and click Move. The query is moved to the folder, and we can expand the folder to see the query listed here. If I want to save a new query directly to the folder, I can create a query from scratch or copy an existing query like we learned in the previous videos. In the dialog box, I can select the new folder to save or copy the query into. You can be extra organized and create subfolders inside your folders. Just create another folder, and this time select the folder you want to place it into. And now you can see the subfolder nested inside the parent folder. And again, you can move or save queries directly to this subfolder. Now I've got my queries organized into folders, and I'd like for my colleagues to be able to access some of these too. That brings us to sharing queries. Depending on your permissions, you can share your queries, which makes them available to other AIMS users in your agency. You can share an individual query or an entire folder of queries. Before we start, here's a couple notes. When you share a query, it's available to all other AIMS users who have permissions to access shared queries. You can't choose a particular person to share with. And other users may have access to not only view the shared query, but also edit it. To share an individual query, click the More Options icon and select Share Query. This is indicating that I'm sharing the query to the root of the Shared Queries tab. I could also choose a folder if one exists. When I share the query, it will move from its spot on the My Queries tab, and it will then be stored on the Shared Queries tab. But I can select this checkbox, which allows me to keep a copy of the query on the My Queries tab. That way, there's a shared version of the query, and I can still have my own copy to work with. If I don't select this box, the query will only be available on the Shared Queries tab going forward. I'll click Share, and I can see the query is now available on the Shared Queries tab. Anyone who has access to this tab can now open and view this query. Since I selected that checkbox, I still have my own copy of this query on the My Queries tab. It exists separately from the shared version though, so I can tweak this query to my heart's delight without affecting the shared version. If I want updates I make to my copy to be reflected in the shared version, I'll need to share my copy again and allow the system to overwrite the shared version with my updates. To share an entire folder of queries, click the More Options icon and select Share Folder. Again, I'll select where on the Shared Queries tab to save the shared folder and select whether I want to keep a copy of the folder and its contents for myself. Once your team starts sharing queries and folders, you may find the Shared Queries tab gets a little cluttered. To organize, you can create folders on the Shared Queries tab just like you could on the My Queries tab. Then you can either move queries into the folders or share queries directly to the folders. Now you know how to organize queries and share them with your team. Join me for part 5, where I'll show you how to go further with your queries and visualize their data results with dashboard charts. Thanks for watching.